of all, welcome, very, very warm welcome from my side. My name is Hala. I'm the head of property development for Wombat's The City Hostel Group. First of all, I'd like to thank PKF Hotel Experts and the Hotel and Tourism Forum, of course, for establishing this platform and providing us the opportunity here to have a conference again in a new, innovative way. And also for inviting us to introduce Wombat's hostels to you, and also in more detail our next opening in Munich, the Wombat's Munich Werksviertel, opening next year in 2021. All right, let's start into the presentation. What are we going to talk about in the next 15 minutes? The first half we will use to give you a good introduction to Wombat, who we are, what we do, where we are, and where we want to go. And this is followed by a closer introduction of our next venue, the Wombat's Munich Werksviertel. Please, if you have questions, address them to the session chat, and I'm going to answer them after the presentation. So what makes Wombat's the place that it is? What makes Wombat's the favorite choice for backpackers and individual travelers, and especially the millennial generation? I think our owners said it quite well in their words, in describing us as: we want to make our guests smile and share our unique Wombat's atmosphere, so they can leave us with a great experience and unforgettable memories in their backpacks. And that's exactly how Wombat's was created. Both of our owners were still privately owned, did go backpacking to Australia, and came back from their travels with not only very unique experiences, but also with the idea in their backpacks to open up a hostel concept in Europe that combines all the benefits of the quality standards of a hotel, but also gives people that unique hostel atmosphere, that unique chance and space of meeting other travelers and creating unforgettable memories on the way. And that's exactly how we see our role in that area, is to give them those spaces where they feel so comfortable to meet other people and to accompany them on the way and look after them on the way. So what is that WOM experience? I think the best description is it's reliably unexpected. There is the factor of true hotel standards, like 24/7 receptions, like daily cleaning, like all the necessary things that you would expect from a quality accommodation provider. But added to those basic needs is that true hostel social atmosphere, that unexpected encounters that make your travel special. And that together is very unique, as we are in a size of brand where people can really trust our brand promise, but we still are able to convey that typical authentic hostel vibe in our houses. And that led to us also being rewarded as or rated as the best large hostel chain worldwide 7 times already. Here you can see what our public areas look like, an example of what they look like, and we call it, we capture that spirit of a new generation. Our basic or our core target market are millennials. Our average age of guests is 27. They are usually between 20 and 39 years old. And most of them, most of us have grown up or partially grown up in an era of social media. We are all longing, and I think especially in times right now, everybody can feel it. We're all longing for this human interaction, for this social atmosphere, for the possibility of really meeting and talking to interesting people who share the love of travel. And that's the spaces that we provide for them. And that obviously can be seen in the communal kitchens, where you can see it there, or in our breakfast areas, or of course at our bars. So this generation also brought in something new that we can see. It's the shared, the very high willingness for this shared economy approach. They don't mind sharing, but they do mind the quality of the facilities they're using. So that's why you will find in our hostels also private rooms, but primarily dormitories with 4, 6, or 8 beds inside. And when it comes to our dorms, for example, in comparison to other providers, we do provide enough space for every guest to have their own private locker and to turn around and open the suitcase. We are not there to just squeeze every centimeter out of a room. We are looking for quality in our properties. Where is Wombats located, and where do we want to go? Currently, we're operating 6 hostels, 2 in our home base in Vienna, where we also opened the first hostel in 1999, 1 in Budapest, London, and Munich, and 1 in Venice since last summer. We were very happy to be able to finally come into the Italian market. I think everyone knows what opening a hostel in Venice last summer meant for this time ever since. But nevertheless, we're very happy to have this property as part of our portfolio. Coming up is Munich next year. As a privately owned company, we are very focused on growing healthily and sustainably. So we are looking at 1 to maybe 2 openings per year. And we are happy to have so far secured Munich 2 for next year, Salzburg the year afterwards, and Milan and Prague for the years following. Nevertheless, we are still hungry. We think there's still a lot of demand for what we have to offer in Europe, and especially in the main gateway cities. And you can see that not only in Italy, where we would love to have a hostel in Rome or Florence, but also in other European capitals and travel hubs, we would really see a Wombat City hostel. So let's talk about our specific new hostel in Munich. The Munich Wombats Werksviertel is going to open in the Werksviertel district development. This is a whole district development next to the Munich Ostbahnhof, which is the east train station, only a few stops from the city center. And you can unfortunately not see very well, but our building will be the large one. I try to show you on the with the mouse in the center of the development, right next to the entire F&B square courtyard, next to the upcoming Munich concert hall, next to live bars, stand-up comedy bars, concert halls, event locations, and also an adjacent indoor and outdoor climbing hall, which will use part of our facade for their climbing as well. So overall, the micro and macro location fit fantastically in our profile. We have opened our first hostel in Munich in 2004, and ever since it was a very, very good success, or a fantastic success story. So there was no question for us to take this opportunity to open a second one. Here you can see the building. It is a mixed use scheme where we share the building with Adina Apartments. Also there in our development, we're not afraid to develop and move in together with partners and other operators or other asset classes into one building. We will occupy ground to 7th floor, whereas Adina will occupy the top floors. On the ground floor, obviously, we're going to share the facilities. Handover of this project is at the beginning of next year, so we're very much looking forward to opening it. Here you can see visualizations of what our reception and wait and seat area and chill out area will look like. All parts of each Wombats hostel that you will walk into. The overall hostel will be roughly 5,400 square meters, which translates into 122 guest rooms and 504 beds. As a hostel operator, obviously, what we can do is work quite efficiently with the space that we are given, and also adapt to the various cities and locations in terms of room mix. Here we chose to have about a quarter of rooms as private rooms, so double and twin rooms, as there is a whole service department provider above us and some hotel providers around us. We have focused more on dorm rooms, which are made up of a majority of 4 bedrooms, 6 bedrooms, and then 8 bedrooms. Here you can see what the bar and breakfast area on the ground floor will look like. This will actually be the first public bar that we have in our group so far, and this was part of the project to open this courtyard to all people within the neighborhood, and so also to open our bar to the visitors or people living in the Werksviertel. Overall, as I mentioned earlier, of course, the bar as well as the breakfast area is a great way for people to meet each other and to share their experiences. Obviously, it also makes a lot of sense to have locals around to maybe give some hints to the travelers at the bar. At the bottom, you see pictures from existing hostels. The one in the middle is actually our first Munich hostel, where we have a beautiful winter garden as a community area. As I mentioned earlier, the new generation that we cater to, they don't mind sharing, but they care for quality. So it is clear to us that each of our guests has his own or her own private bed lamp, a USB plug, power socket. Our new beds will have privacy curtains. Each guest has his or her private lockers, and all of our guest rooms are en suite. So all of our guest rooms provide our guests with a bathroom and a shower, and in our dorm rooms, even 2 sinks to use to brush teeth or wash hands at the same time. But of course, there are public showers and toilets available, usually more used by people coming to the hostel before check-in or staying at the hostel after checkout. This was a little overview of what our hostel will look like. I'm happy that I was able to introduce you, and if there are any questions, please feel free to shoot. Okay, if there are no questions, maybe the next presenter would like to.
Hello.
Oh, okay, there are questions. Thank you for this great question. Obviously, the COVID crisis does have a big impact on us as a hostel provider, and does force us to make intermediate changes for our, especially F&B concepts. Excuse me, may I just ask you to turn off the microphone again? Thank you. So yes, in the public areas, we had to take all the necessary steps to mark the distancing measures, to obviously provide the shielding for our receptionists, or in the areas where the distance cannot be kept. Especially in the breakfast area, we do not offer buffet breakfast at the moment, but pre-ordered breakfast, so our guests have the chance to choose from all the items that we usually have on our buffet, and get it pre-packed. So yes, we had to do some changes, but we see them as intermediate changes, not long-term changes. We believe in the concept of human interaction, and so far everybody who has been in the shutdown, also as far everyone I met was very, very much longing for this social interaction again, and we believe that this will be demanded again once solutions are found, like vaccines and so on. Second question, do we own or lease? We are following an asset-light strategy, so we always lease. Thank you very much for the questions. I think now my time is up. I'm very happy to take private video calls to give you more information about Wombats, or here you can find my contacts. I'm sorry, but my time is over, so enjoy the next presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.